beautiful people. How are you this week? Well, it's been raining and humid, and I've been stuck doing a lot of bookkeeping this week. I had to make a deal with my husband where I would spend the first 5 hours of my working day catching up on the books for our IT business, Super Geek, and then I could art. So I've rescheduled everything, but I tell you what, when you've got an artistic brain and you're trying to do analytical work, the two just kill each other. I struggle with it, and the thing that I hate is that I'm actually good at it. But I struggle with it, and I hate it to bits, and trying to do that kind of, I think, pointless and meaningless work, even though it's not. It's really important. For those of you out there that are bookkeepers, it's really important work. I get it. So I just don't want to do it. And but you know what, I'm proud of myself that I'm getting in there and getting it done, and I'm choosing now to make my art journaling time more productive. So I've started a new little project this year, and it looks a bit banged up with tape and everything, but that's because I'm protecting the inside covers. But I'm doing this little it's a mash it up journal. So I'm doing a mash it up journal. So this journal here is full of 300 GSM watercolor paper, and I bought an absolute stack of cheap watercolor pads, but they were 300 GSM from Aldi, and they were like $3.99 each, and I thought perfect, because they will take whatever it is that I'm going to throw at them this year. And the mash it up, that just means I am going to do anything and everything, no rules. So I've done, except I have to use at least 1 or 2 things from my stash. And I will sometimes use inspiration sticks. I will be doing a lot of collage, because there's a lot of collage things in my stash. So I'll be using that, but I've got some embellishments I want to get rid of and things like that. And this is a cloth book, so it's not really stiff. So what I'm finding is that it just is really good. So this is last night's go, and I've got a video coming up, and you'll probably see that after this. But I really loved playing with that, and that was a quick thing, and I did it at like 10 o'clock at night, because it was just something I sat down and I just poured it out, and I loved it. And that's exactly the sort of thing that this journal is for. Not necessarily heaps of thought. The girl, I didn't even know I was going to do a girl when I started laying that down. I just kind of thought, oh yeah, I'll draw something, was a thought. But I'm not going to do that every day or whatever. So I'm loving it so far, and it's like not huge. It's a little bit wider than the Small Delusions journal, but I find it incredibly easy to work in. And because it's cloth, it like lays really quite flat. So I can lay it really flat, and it just curls, the spine curls, and works really good. So pretty cool. I'm happy with it. Happy. I got a beautiful Christmas card from my friend Bernice in the Netherlands. How gorgeous is that? She told me she only sent 4 out this year. 1 to her mother, 1 to her mother-in-law, 1 to her grandmother, and 1 to me. Gosh, don't you love having gorgeous friends like that? So I have to think of something gorgeous to do with that, although I am building up an absolutely gorgeous stash of cards that people have given me over the course of 2014. And what I've decided to do is to make a card journal. So what I will do essentially is try and see if I can put some cards in that are relatively similar in dimensions, make a journal, and all these parts, this part stays as the part that's already done, and then all these parts, they get painted on or written on or other things, or you can leave some of the messages there. And yeah, so I'm going to be doing something like that and binding something like that soon, and that'll be, yeah, that'll be a fun project. And then each year you get to do some cards. I know I've got a project coming up where my mother-in-law has kept a lot of handmade cards that she's been given, so I promised her that I would make one for her, so I will put that on film, and that'll come up, and that'll be in my section on my YouTube channel that's like other arts and crafts. So it's not art journaling at all. It's just something else that I do, you know, when I feel like it. Because I do that a lot. What's happened this week? Apart from doing lots and lots of bookkeeping. I still keep coming back to that. I want to rail against the need that we need to have to do that, but you know what? It's hard to do it. Oh, you know, this part is like Confessions of a Guilty Art Supply Junkie. Confessions of a Guilty Art Supply Junkie. I like that. So probably weekly I'll do Confessions of a Art Supply Junkie segment within these vlogs, so that you can sit there and moan and groan with me about how awful it is or wonderful it is that we are art supply junkies. But I have to plug, I used my reference book, and you know, I did my first lesson of Life Book, and I love, you know, it was a really good lesson. I'm not really into all of the other kind of meditational stuff that's on Life Book, but I did Life Book this year because I want to learn different things from new teachers. Because I'm a teacher myself, I kind of think to myself, yeah, I think that the day that we stop learning is the day that we die. Like, really. You know, so I'm really, because I'm teaching an awful lot this year, my doing Life Book is like me time for me. It's a time where I just do what I want to do, and it's something I chosen. And you know, if I learn something, that's really good. If I don't learn something, I'm just going to enjoy the process. That's what I want to do. But when I did that beacon of light thing that I was doing, I found that I didn't have hardly any yellow neo color crayons, and I had a real yen to get some more. So Neo Colours being one of those products that actually is cheaper to buy singly than it is in a tin, because they make you pay for the tin, and I don't keep mine in a tin, so I'm really okay with that. I just decided that I would go to my reference book, and this is why I love the reference book, right? So I went to the reference book, and I haven't rubbed these out yet, but I'm going to show you this. So I have the whole Neo colour chart, but what I've got is a line through. You can see some of the colours there here, across here, that have lines through there for what I've got. And then I put circles around the colours that I really wanted to get. So you can see some there that have circles. So I then went down and I was able to purchase no duplicates, because I went down and put an order in for a local supplier who sells them at an amazingly awesome price, and she had them here in the next day, and I bought 30 and I paid less than I did for a tin of 30. Go figure. And they're all the colours that I want, and me being you know, the person that I am, I have already swatched them. So my chart is filling up pretty quickly. You can see there's a lot more yellows there now, a lot more purples, and I'm getting my colour ranges in. I've got a lot more blues and greens. I've got less greens though, so you know, the next order is going to have some more greens in it. And I also, oh, there's a bright, see, there's some brights here, so I've got some more at the bottom here. So yes, that was a really good purchase, and they're already swatched and they're in the reference book. And that's why I say to you, if you're doing the reference book course, it's never really done, but it is really important that when you buy new things or you add to your stash, that you add them in your book. Because I went on and made a really good purchase that was really important to me about how I wanted to start getting the dominant colours in my collection according to my needs as an artist right now. And, you know, so those generalised sets weren't necessarily doing it for me. And, you know, I love them for shading faces and things like that. And I wanted to do some pages in warmer colours, and I didn't have as many of those. I had a lot of the beautiful blues and purples and stuff, and so I just really went further down that track, and I loved it. And that's been something for me. I've been working really hard as well on journaling Crazy Island style for January, and I'm working hard on my film prompt for January, and it's a really cool prompt, people, really cool. And I've thought it and rethought it and rethought it again, and then started an idea and then rethought it again, because it's just one of those things where I just want it to be amazing. So I'm working on that at the moment, but it's going to be a great lesson. And if you like to draw, or if you don't like to draw and you're a student on Crazy Island University doing journaling Crazy Island style, then it's a good lesson. Because we actually then started asking our students, well, what do you want to learn this year? Because we've got some prompts and we've got most of the year planned, but we haven't done all the year's work yet. So we're kind of sitting there going, okay, if we could try and cater to the needs and the wants and the desires of our students a little bit more, I would really like to do that. I like, as a teacher, being able to teach people what they want to learn rather than just teaching them what I think they want to learn. So there are some things where we think you need to know some stuff, but then there's an avenue that you know you don't need to know. You can choose some of the ways that we may teach you, and that are important for your own personal artistic journey. Because I think as a teacher, if you don't get into the needs of your students, then what's the point? So that's an exciting thing, and I've had people even commenting on this channel that they want to see me do some of my faces. That, I mean, that was one of the comments on this this page, because, you know, she's a different kind of girl and she's a bit gorgeous, and you know, doing those kind of girls, yeah, they're mine. That's my kind of girl. It's uniquely me, and it doesn't matter how many courses you do, you find your own style and it just comes out for you. Eventually it comes out for you and you just enjoy doing that particular kind of thing. So I'm loving that kind of thing at the moment. And one thing I can say to you, if you want to start drawing faces, it doesn't matter how bad your faces are when you start. It really doesn't. And there's a lot of maths in drawing faces, but the whole thing is that if you really want to draw faces, then practice. It's the same as anything. If you want to learn to play the guitar, then practice it. If you want to be a better singer, then practice. If you want to learn how to have really good composition and be a good paint blender, then practice that. Anything that you want to do in art journaling, just practice it. So that's part of what this Mash It Up journal is for me. It's like doing whatever takes my fancy, whenever it takes my fancy, and however it takes my fancy. And I'm not doing it for a class. I'm filming it because, you know, my viewers like to watch stuff like that. You know, I like it. And there's only so many mixed media art journal pages on the internet. So if you can get in there and find and create a space where people enjoy what you do, then you just upload even your playtime, hey? Because it's my playtime, and I like my playtime. And, you know, I haven't got my teacherly mode on. I'm just doing it, and you're coming along for the ride. So, other than that, I'm looking at, in the next week or two, going and spending some time with Vicky McBride, my BFF. Love that girl. Love that girl. I need to get away. After Christmas, New Year's, all this bookkeeping. All the bookkeeping. I need to get away and just do some more pages, do some art, have lots of cups of tea and chats on the back deck, and lots of hugs, and yeah, I kind of need that. You know, I think all of us need our soul food, and that kind of thing is a bit of soul food for me. So I'm hoping to get my Crafty Crusaders design team box way before then, because my first project is an amazing project, but I have to wait for my TT box to arrive. Apparently they're really large boxes. In fact, they're so large you're allowed to send them to a post office. So that's exciting. I see you go. So yes, I'm waiting on that so that I can get my travel bag done so that I can go away. That would be great, don't you think? Go away. That would be great. And I might even film a vlog while I'm there. That would be cool. Not that I did that in Nambucca, because filming a vlog in Nambucca Heads at the beach when it's raining very heavily is not the most pleasant thing. No, not really. Not at all. So I also want to give a big shout out to Letha Richardson, who's really taking over the reins of the Letter Journal project this year. Her channel is This Muse of Mine, Letha Richardson. She's fabulous. And I tried to add her video to my playlists, but you know, I'm not the most technical person out there. We run a mobile IT business, but I'm not a technician myself. But she's amazing, and she's taking over the reins of that project for me because I'm so busy this year. And I love, love, love being able to then be a mentor within that program and just help Letha along in her journey of becoming an awesome leader. She's really cool. I couldn't have picked a better person to do this project. So when Letha contacts you or organises your groups and sends you emails and does stuff like that, it's just like I'm talking. That's the way it's working. That's the way it works for me this year. When I hand it over, I hand it over. It's great. I also have a new email address for Letter Journal Swaps, so I'm going to change that in the description below. So if you're interested in the Letter Journal project this year, I have a playlist. I have a new email address for sign up for Letter Journal Swaps, but it's always really good to do it within the Krazy Island family community, and we have an event on that page, so you can search for Krazy Island family on Facebook and find us and ask to join. And it's really good then, because then we can set up group chats and do things like that. And communication is the key with letter journals. Yeah, we have some rules. No lumpy bumpy, no gloss media, like no gloss media, because these are international swaps and it might be snowing where you are, but it could be in drought where I am. FYI. It's summer in Australia right now and it's winter in the States. So any swaps that I am, they spend a lot of time in a truck in Australia getting really hot and heavy. So no gloss mediums, in fact no Mod Podge at all. It should be banned for this particular project. Not that I don't like Mod Podge, but when you're putting pages together and they're getting pressed through machines and stacked really tightly into boxes and then heated up, Mod Podge is not actually the right medium for that particular type of project. And that's just through trial and error. We're not trying to impose lots of rules on people. For those of you out there that think, oh, there's too many rules for this project, well, FYI, the rules are there because we have tried and failed, and we are trying to do things better. Yeah, so anyway, I need to sign off for this week because I've just got a message that I have to pick up my son. Ciao. See you next week. Love you all. Learn something new today. Keeps you young.